man, the Big Eyes podcast is back. It is, the first episode of 2025. You know the voice. It's LJ. And I am here, not with Mills, not for these next few episodes where we're running. Right now, I'm here with the trade machine maniac, the one and only AD, who is on the trade machine currently right now.
Yes, sir. I'm going to the Mavericks, baby. What's happening?
He's on the trade machine right now. I don't know what numbers he's crunching. I don't know what players are in there. He's trying to find a way to get LeBron to the Hawks.
We need it, baby. I'm telling you. Hey, it worked too, though. Hey, hold on. I was sending a screenshot of this shit.
Oh my god, this man's a.
I'll give him some more assets. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Put me as the GM. I got you, baby.
Oh my gosh. First episode,
what's going on?
First episode back, 2025. The lookout. Outside of you and your current sports conundrums, your hypotheticals. How was that? The first month done wrapped up. How's 2025 treating you?
Outside of the sports hypotheticals, and everything that's been going on, it's been great, man. Like, I feel like this is gonna be a great year. We got some great stuff going on. For me personally, I'm, just enjoying the vibes that everything has been, so far been given to us. Even though, if I feel like that meme of the dog and with the house on fire, and I'm like, this is fine. That's how I'm living right now.
You know what? I feel it. Man, 2025 it's starting off calm. It's starting off smooth. I can't complain too much. I've been hitting the goals. Been just taking it slow. I don't try to. That's the one thing I kind of learned last year. It was just you don't bite off more than you can chew. So I've been keeping it easy. Like I said, setting the small goals, keeping it pushing, keeping it going. Listen, pitchers and catchers report very soon. Hey. Spring training, end of the month. Yankees are back. Everybody's making moves. Like I said, AD got the trade machine going for the Hawks right now.
Listen, man, I was about to have it going for the Braves because the Dodgers apparently they just have unlimited assets. It's insane what they're doing right now. You talking about the LA deferments? Yes, bro.
That's what LAD stand for, man. The deferments.
What is going on?
They dodging something that's paying people on time. That's what they dodging.
Listen, man. Shit, we gotta investigate LA, man.
No, we gotta investigate all of
LA.
We got to, man. Listen, they are not they're not playing the game fair. It's bad when a Yankees owner is complaining about what they doing. If a Steinbrenner is complaining about like what another owner is doing, that's how the game is all messed up. Oh man. But no, we are back, man. We are very happy to be here. First lookout. We've been on a break for a little bit since our best worst of 2024. Shout out to Subslide, Dubslide. They've been really holding down the network with some great episodes. Their current one or their latest one, Gone versus P2. That was what a fight. What a battle.
Yeah, man. That's one of both of our favorite ones. Like the entire Chimera Ant, we complain about the length of it, but just that moment in general and the build up to it, I can't wait for Jay to actually watch the entire thing first. Like we gotta get him down and sit him down and but I want everybody to know that the Chimera Ant arc isn't as bad as some people make it out to be. There's a lot of things that go on into it, and Togashi just be in his bag. Like I know I said he be finding things, trying to search for things in his bag with this current arc. But like, listen, man, everything that he put in there is for a reason. Like, and this whole Chimera Ant arc with YouTube, you know, it's a very great moment.
No, it is. It's just it's the buildup of it from the first time she appears to, you know, her killing Kite, and then everything that just leads to that moment where Gon finally snaps, and the suspense build up, the build up of the other characters around, you know, that just add to this moment, like that, you know, Killua being like, man, my dog tripping, you know, like all of it, everything that just accumulates to that moment where when they finally battle is a great one. But nah, man, shout out to subs like Dubs, like shout out to J&D, they've been holding it down. But listen, LJ and AD are back, the Big Eyes boys are back, and we're here because it's time to put the pirate hats back on.
Yeah, man. We haven't done this since the Film Red review, you know?
Yeah, we haven't. I mean, obviously we did it, you know, we did it all together for summer at Kame's house. But it's been a while since just me and you have entered the One Piece world again, and really excited. So now I know that where we left off, you know, over at Summer at Kame's, we went through all the Water 7. You know, one of the
Eni's lobby.
We went through the whole saga, and we're doing it a little different now because we're just going to skip everything that happens after that, and we're hopping straight into the new world. You know, and we're hopping straight into the new world. We're hopping straight into Fishman Island. And that's what we're going to be covering for these next few episodes. And, you know, listen, as One Piece fans and people who love it, we definitely understand, like, there's more that comes after Water 7 and before this that is very important. Obviously, the big one being Marineford, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But no, I think we just, you know, as One Piece fans, we understand how expansive this world is, but I really think that this whole story takes a complete and dramatic shift after that time skip, where it really feels like you're watching a different show in a weird way. Could you agree with that? Do you feel the same? Like, I really do feel that, like, One Piece, I want to say it's like
it's so much that goes into it. Like, you know, in the beginning, you know, we were in this happy-go-lucky, you know, pirate manga where Luffy is just gathering his crew and they're just sailing for their dreams. But then they hit that big roadblock in Sabaody, and you know, we know what happens with Luffy's journey. But just like everybody else that came along with him, you know, they start to realize, oh shit, like, you know, Luffy's doing all of this stuff for us, and like, we see how great he can be, but we don't want to like hold him back because we couldn't do our own thing. So like, coming into the new world, like, everything feels a little bit more serious. You know, people had to go to college, get their GEDs type shit. You know, it's a type of different story where you just come back and you're like, you come in with a new mindset of like, okay, we really got to take this seriously because we really could have died. If it was the wrong person, we could have actually died in this moment. But somebody was here to actually help us, and we didn't really understand it. But now that we're here, now that we know what we're truly up against, let us take this a little bit more seriously. And that's kind of the direction that the new world pushes them towards, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's, and I completely agree. And I think that moment of them being like, holy shit, we're really, like, we're good. Yes. But we're completely not ready for the dangers and the enemies that are ahead of us. and they really carry that tone into the next. After that time skip, it's like One Piece Part 2, essentially. It's like they carry that, like, all right, we got to really be on our P's and Q's now. We really got to be ready for every opponent that's about to be coming after us, because they've made a name for themselves at this point. And so, okay, so before we start and really get into this, one last little hypothetical. Obviously, when we're recording this, we are on the day of probably one of the biggest trades in NBA history. in One Piece terms, what is this? Who are these two characters? Like, who is what two pirate crews and what two pirate? If a trade was to happen in One Piece of this magnitude, what do you think this equals? Like, is this like? Like, where do you see this in the One Piece scope?
In the One Piece scope, oh man, this is like low key. This is like Aokiji going to the Blackbeard Pirates,
That's a big spoiler for all y'all too.
Yeah. Like, we ain't get there, of course, that's a very big spoiler. But it kind of feels like that. You feel me? Like, it's just, damn. You see the headline and it's like, bro, what? How did this happen? Like, first of all, like, it's such a big magnitude that it happened in the middle of the night, and you just see like things going on. Like, bro, you don't even know the situation. Nobody knows the situation for real until all the details start to come out, and it's like, wait, so y'all really telling me I wasn't really trying to pay this man for real? That's neither here nor there. Like, but it's just such a crazy moment, man. I can't believe that we're doing this. I need the Hawks to pick up LeBron some way.
And on that note, so we're here. It's post Marineford. We just had this huge war. The sudden death of Ace. Luffy, escaping impelled down. All of these, this big moment. Yeah. And after that, the big kind of message Luffy sends to his crew after, with the newspaper, it's the 3D crossed out with the 2Y. Only his members know. It's like, hey, 2 years. That's what we got. And this is where we're kicking off. 2 years later, they're back in Sabaody. The members are showing up one by one, and they're all here. They know where to meet up at. We see Rayleigh again. They're all at the they're showing up at the bar one by one. They're all kind of catching up and super happy to see each other.
I kind of like in this moment that when we get to this episode, because we're starting off with episode 517, and where we see everybody sort of get on screen, like, they don't really show their faces right away. Everybody has their little moment of like, oh, their outfits changed, they all look different, sort of. You see Luffy coming off the island with Boa heading to Saudi, and then you got Rayleigh at his bar, and you see Zoro walk in first. He's like, Zoro always be getting lost. The fact that he's there first, like, you're like, damn, I guess they got lost.
Yeah. And it's funny because Zoro now has this running joke of calling people by the name, by the number in which they appeared. Mostly Sanji, who in these first batch of episodes, in these first batch that we're talking about today, Sanji is the clear MVP, because
is he
good, and for the simple fact that his running joke is the funniest thing the entire time. The nosebleeds, the fact that he can't control the holiness. He keeps getting these nosebleeds that are causing him to get blood transfusions. Like,
he came back a gooner, bro. I can't believe they did this to my dog, man.
Oh man, it's so good. It's so great. the running joke the entire time. Even up till they get into Fishman Island, like it's great. But no, we get our characters and they're coming back, and as they get back to Sabaody, um, they are not aware that there has been a crew that has been uh, posing as them across the island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and throughout, and one thing I really enjoy about One Piece is they have these goofy moments, but they usually are led to as segues um into kind of like a more serious thing.
Hmm.
And that's what this moment is used for. So you got these group of pirates that have been posing as the Straw Hat Pirates. They look nothing like them. Um and they're going around the island and everyone's scared. They're like, Captain Luffy, he's not dead, and here's and they're going around terrorizing the island. And the first moment is when we see Nami and Usopp. They reunite, and while they're in the bar, they overhear them posing as the Straw Hats, and they easily wash them. And then after that, we keep moving forward. Then they run to Luffy. You see Luffy's first like use of his hockey, and that's a really cool moment. You just like kind of start seeing how each character progresses as they go on.
Yeah. I like the going back to the bar moment. I kind of like that moment in the sense that, like, it's the two weakest people. They really didn't do too much fighting, and like Usopp jumps into the bar. He shows off his one of his new special attacks and takes over. And then he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not weak anymore, Nami." And then Nami leaves the bar, dropping off some of her new tech that she learned, and strike like and covers the whole bar with lightning. She's like, "Don't worry, I trained too." I love that those two get their first real moments to shine out of everybody. Just to be like, "Oh shit!" Like, they coming correct now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's great. I think, like, once again, I think like this whole moment in Saudi is kind of that's really what it's used for. Is like, let's
Mhm.
see how much stronger they are now. You see Zoro cut an entire ship in half. You see Sanji, he has a moment when they're attempting to escape, his powers. You see, like, Robin, she has gained more like, different powers with her devil fruit. Chopper, the sweet lad, the sweet gullible lad.
Man, they did. I love Chopper, but come on, man. Like,
He's so sweet. He's such a kid. He's such a kid. He sees the fake he sees the fake Robin, and sees the fake was it Sanji and fake Zoro.
yeah.
He's like, guys, come on.
And they have like a fake Chopper with them too. It's like a little
They have
fossil
a, they have a box with a top hat and a mustache.
they see him and it's like, "Oh, that's the real Chopper." And they start kicking the other dog, like, "Bro, get the fuck out of here." The Marines come up, snatch fake Robin with the fake Chopper. Chopper's like, "Bro, we gotta go save them." And then fake Zoro and fake Sanji are like, "Well, I guess we gotta tell the boss. I don't know if there's anything we could do at the moment, but like, fuck it, let's go." You know what I'm saying? Chop it up. He's just sitting there like, "You're right. Luffy's here too. We should go tell him. Let's go, guys." All happy go lucky and shit, man. Like, come on, man.
It's great, man. Once again, the clear shenanigans of One Piece. Zoro going off and obviously missing again. And you see him and Sanji butting heads immediately. Nami trying to scam the the department store. She's like, I'll buy all these clothes and 90% off. I was just like, hey, listen, you gotta love a good bargainer.
Yeah,
Um, but no, yeah, like you kind of go through this moment, and then now then obviously the Navy hears word, the Marines hear word that, hey, the Straw Hats are here. They're back on the island. And you get this moment of the pacifistas now being deployed. I think kind of like the big, the, the the big moment here is, and it's obviously comes with Frankie talking about his interaction with Kuma.
Hmm.
And this is one of those moments where I was like, okay, this is where they start planting these seeds that we have now seen in the future fully bloom. But this is kind of the first time, not first, but like no, they're starting to water this plant here of Kuma isn't the person that they think he is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the because he was the one who initially sent them off. It's like, oh, we thought that he was out to get us, especially after Thriller Bark, where he was the one who kind of hurt Zoro in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like we know that he's a warlord. We know that he's been doing these things, but it's like, oh shit, this is the person who was protecting our ship the entire time. Why is that? Of course, we find out a little bit more information later down the line. I'm not going to spoil that, but like,
Uh,
it's just a
and then we start hearing about Dr. Vegapunk,
yeah,
and everything that he was doing, all everything that was, because Frankie learned a lot while he was gone. He
yeah.
was
Frankie was so I know we didn't talk about it, but like everybody got sent off to like very special places by Kuma, and Frankie's was Vegapunk's home island where he was born, and he got to see his like first lab and everything. So that was kind of an interesting thing where Frankie got to learn a lot too during that moment. Um I kind of want to touch on like just the many little things that everybody went through
yeah,
during
for
their
sure.
time. Like so we had Nami go to Weatheria, Sky Island where she learned how to be a better meteorologist to help people. That's one of the things that she picked up when we saw her use those little weather balls in the bar. Usopp went to the Boyne Archipelago where he just really got really overweight and then he just worked out a lot, but also picked up some of the plants from there and learned how to grow them. Sanji was sent to Ivankov's kingdom, and that's just the worst thing for him, man. He got dragged into RuPaul's Drag Race, learned how to fly. Um, Zoro was sent to Mihawk's island, and he ended up training under him after Mihawk came back from Marineford. Um, Chopper went to a random kingdom where he was about to get eaten, but like he got saved by some birds. And Robin went to this. She got enslaved wherever she went. She got enslaved and was eventually saved by the revolutionaries. So she actually met Dragon and stayed with them for a while. And then Brooke was
Brooke, Brooke became a superstar. Yeah,
yeah.
he went to full Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
My dog Brooke went on world tour.
Yeah. You gotta love that for him, man. Like
Yeah,
for someone who died and then came back and actually got to live this second life, essentially, man. Like you gotta love that. He having his farewell tour on Sabaody too, man. Like,
look, come on, man. Listen. You went on a 2 year. You went on a crazy 2 year run.
yeah,
Come on, you talking about top charting albums, top charting singles, sold out stadium tours. Like, he was doing his thing. My dog was going crazy, full rock star. He was living his life. I'm trying to think who else. Are we missing anybody else?
that's pretty
Oh, and then
much
obviously the captain, Luffy.
yeah. But we see what Luffy went through, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you do see what Luffy goes through Marine Ford and everything, but I think him, learning hockey, learning how to obtain it, learning how to control it, growing his power, training with Dark King Raleigh.
yeah,
It was was a real dope moment. I think it's cool that each of them got to train in what they're specialized in and just how to be better at it. Like even Usopp, like him being on that island and learning how to be, how to hunt, be a better sniper, having better, field of vision, all these things, like just becoming a
hmm,
better warrior. I think Chopper's even story is cool just because, he helped mend that that thing between the birds and the natives, but also him learning medicines and all the other healing things that he did there. Uh, yeah, and like I said, when they get back these first few episodes, it's really just about them kind of showing how they've grown. You get some character design, a little bit, next thing you know, Zoro got a scar on his eye.
Hmm.
Nami got a new haircut. Robin got a new fit. Frankie went, he got swole too in a mechanical way.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, and then you come back and you see all of them get together. They're going through Sabaody. All these kind of shenanigans, little things are happening. Finally, the fake pirates or the fake straw hats. They call this huge meeting with all these hundreds of pirates that they get together, and then the Marines attack. And you see the pacifistas appear, and they're like, "That's not Luffy."
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
who do y'all think? This is not Luffy. And then you see the real Luffy appear, and you know they try their best to stay out of trouble, but it seems that trouble always finds them.
That's such a good moment, man. Like with Luffy with a fake mustache and a hood on, just like walking around, and like he bumps into the fake Luffy for real, and the fake Luffy's like, "Bro, do you know who I am? Like, nigga, I will kill you." And Luffy's like, "I shouldn't cause any trouble. My bad, dog." He bumps into him again, tries to shoot him. He dodges the bullet and uses Conqueror's Hockey to knock everybody out, and everybody wakes up and is like, "Well, we got to find that kid, bro. Like, we got to do something about him. He a problem.
No,
Like, I
for
can't
sure,
let that."
he's a for sure a problem.
And then when they have the meeting, they see the fake Luffy there, and the fake Luffy and real Luffy there, and fake Luffy gets confronted by I forget his name, but the big guy with the axe, and he's like, "Bro, y'all tripping? Like this is not him." And then the pacifistas is like, "No, but Luffy is here." So they actually see him, um, try to shoot him out the crowd. Luffy dodges, and it's like too slow.
Yeah,
Man,
you see Luffy and them get their revenge against the robots, wash them
hmm
easily. They easily get destroyed, and then everybody makes it to the ship that has been freshly coated with this like what would you call the coating on the ship?
I forgot what they call it, but it's like
I,
essentially like bubble wrap.
yeah,
You know,
it encapsulates the air and it allows the ship to go underwater, allows them to breathe and still be on the ship. Everybody makes it to the ship. We get this great Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy. They come flying in with Chopper on the big bird. You
hmm
kind of see everybody who has helped the Straw Hats during this train, these last 2 years come and give them assistance to escape. Causing some
hmm
blockades for the Navy as they go underwater, and we begin our descent to Fishman Island. And during this time, you uh one of the followers of the fake Luffy, what's his name?
Caribou.
Caribou. He tries his best to follow follow the Straw Hats down and attack them and blow up their ship. And he ends up getting captured prisoner as
hmm
we keep descending down, and we run into some once again more shenanigans to these next few episodes of the Kraken appears. They're fighting different sea monsters. They get caught up in the vortex as they're going down. uh Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro, they get their own little bubbles to go out to attempt to fight the
Fight the
Kraken.
Kraken.
And this the first time we see Luffy use the Gear 3 with the armament hockey.
Yeah, the armament.
Armament
Yeah,
hockey.
it's I love this because they're all like so. First of all, like everybody's on the ship, and you would think like when Usopp first shows up, you think he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not a coward anymore," and in this moment, he's like, "No, we need to go ahead and head out. We need to. I'm not digging this. We gotta dip." But Luffy's or Sanji are like, "Nah, we could take him." Luffy's like, "Actually, I want to try to catch it." That's a legendary Pokemon down here, right? I'm a catch it.
I want it as a pet.
And so they go out in like little mini bubbles out there to fight. Sanji still tripping now. He sees Nami and Robin catching nosebleeds and everything. Like, he's like, all right, bro, I can lock you in. Time to do something. He ends up like grilling part of the Kraken. Zoro cuts off a tentacle. Luffy's like, bro, y'all are tripping. I said not to cut it. Let me knock it out right quick. I gotta weaken it. Uses the Gear 3 elephant gun with armament hockey, clocks it on the head, knocks it out, and then they all just start getting pulled into like the undersea current. And Luffy can't swim. So if something happens to that bubble, he might be cooked. So but they all get pulled into the current with the boat heading deeper and deeper underwater. And so as they get there, they kind of get separated. So everybody else is on the ship. Frankie starts trying to steer through all the giant sea monsters that lurk down there. They eventually come across a giant sea monster like human, or a human like sea monster, um, who saves them from an anglerfish. Um, and the Kraken shows up to knock out the sea monster human, and Luffy comes up like, "Yeah, I tamed him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We made it back."
And I think this is I think our introduction to probably one of the first characters that actually play a role in this whole thing. The Flying Dutchman ship with
Yeah.
what's the captain's name?
Vanderdecken.
Vanderdecken. This is our first time, them really interacting with another ship that was all the way down there. Uh, they will come back later in this series. But you get that interaction. They finally get all the way down. There's this, Nami kept warning them about this underground volcano, or the underwater volcano that finally erupts. And the Kraken is carrying the ship and all the crew all the way down. Their air bubble is slowly shrinking because they had to use a coup de burst a couple times just to escape all the other sea monsters. So they want our straw hats are once again in this dire situation. And they jump over a ledge to descend because Fishman Island is 10,000 meters underwater. They're only at like 850 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And they jump down and they're going, and they finally crash down and float down. And when they awaken, they see it. They see the Fishman Island. They were just like, man, why? Like, wait, there's sunlight down here. Hold on, like, what is
This don't
this?
make no sense.
This don't
Like,
make no sense. Um, they're like, man, we finally make it, and then we get introduced to our big baddies
mm-hmm.
during all of this, the new Fishman pirate,
Yeah. New
not,
Fishman pirates.
not the OGs,
Yeah.
not the
Remember
original.
Arlong and them?
Yeah, this is not Arlong and them, but they remember what the Straw Hats did to Arlong.
Mm-hmm.
They heard word from, listen, they got word about what the Straw Hats did to them out in the East Blue. And now it's one of those things of like, okay, so you ran up on our mans, you beat up our mans. However,
You in LA now. You in
you're
Compton now.
on our turf now. But they also heard like, listen, Heihachi was in a little dire situation and you helped saved him. We don't know why he
Yeah.
did that. So we're gonna
Yeah.
give you an ultimatum. Also, too, why did what of our guys' names that pulled up?
Oh, dang, I don't remember his name. I know who you're talking about though. The guy with the hat.
They all pulled up looking like a three-piece like jazz band. like a cover band. Like that's how they all were dressed. I've never seen Fishman wear fedoras. And he had like that slam poetry beard too.
Hey man, one of the what's his name? Papa Goo, the little starfish, man. Like we find out that he's a whole fashion designer. That he lives in Beverly Hills, you know, at the top. I
Yeah,
probably dress them boys, you know what I'm saying?
listen, he might have got his suit from him. But no, they run into the issue of not run into the issue of, but they're confronted at the front, and then they're like, "Listen, as you say, obviously you beat up Arlong. That's an issue, but you saved one of our guys too, so we're gonna give you a choice. You can either join us or you can die right here." And Nami is already the wheels is already turning in her head. She's like, "Hey, Frankie,
Mhm.
go load it up. Go load
Mhm.
it." He was like,
we gotta
"We
deal.
gotta go. We gotta dip because I don't know what's going on here." And you
And
already know
Luffy's
Luffy.
like
Already know Luffy about to tweak. Go get everything ready.
and
Usopp,
Luffy already starts popping off at the mouth.
Luffy's already on his. Hey, who the hell do you think you're talking to? He was like, "Nah, F all that." He was just like, "Do what?" He was like, "Man, hell no." So Usopp goes down. He got to load up the cola so they can do one final coup de burst. They're like, "Hey, I don't care if the air bubble pops on this last one. We gotta get like, listen, this is about to put us in a sticky situation." They pulled up with these crazy sea beasts. Like we are out armed right now, so we need to figure it out. Uh, and as soon as the attack happens, they hit the final coup de burst. They get through the first layer of Fishman Island, and they're like, "Oh, wait, it's a double barrier." And they go into the second barrier, and they get caught up in the current in there. And we think all is lost. The air bubble pops. The ship is, everyone's flying off of the ship. They're in the water. You have 4 devil fruit users in the seawater who can't swim and who are drowning. And we know they're in a dire situation. However, Sanji's dream is stronger than any turmoil they can go through because they are saved by mermaids. And as Usopp, Chopper, uh Luffy and Sanji awaken, they are with a very old friend, Cammy, who has came to save them. And Sanji's like, "Yo, what is this heaven that I'm in right now?"
I'm loving this.
He's loving it. I told you, this is the best running joke throughout the entire thing. Chopper is trying to give him rehabilitation. Got him looking at got him looking at softcore pictures of Nami and Robin to build his tolerance. Like it was just too much. They're like, "Bro, what did you go through in these last 2 years? Like, what are you on?" He was like, "Man, listen, if y'all would have known the hell that I've been through." So yeah,
I feel for my dog.
yeah, man, for real. So, we're finally here. We're finally Fishman Island, where we get introduced the final episode to Hody Jones, who's the leader of the new Fishman Pirates, and his only goal is to get his hands on Luffy. Um, and then yeah, we're here. We're in our introduction. We finally step foot into this island. AD as someone who you know diehard One Piece fan, you kind of know the what comes after this. What is the importance of Fishman Island?
Well, I think it's also funny that you asked me this question because you see it becomes more and more important as we go along, and we'll bring up certain things that Fishman Island holds. But I think the first big thing is the fact that it's this island right under the red line in the world, which is like this giant, massive line that encompasses the world on the other side of it is like Reverse Mountain, but at the top of the red line is the Holy Land Merijois, where like all the celestial dragons and world nobles live, you know what I'm saying? So like for it to be like right under there, and for pirates to have to try to go there to get to the new world, but like the way that you get there is already damning in itself. Like you see as they're going down there, there's a bunch of ships that got destroyed because of whether or not they got their bubbles popped, or like the sea creatures down there, they just weren't prepared. So the importance of Fishman Island, both as a saga and like a place, are like like they're just massive pillars for us to go through. Like I don't even think we talked about one of the characters that we'll eventually meet, that or reconnect with uh as they show up, as we talk about it in the coming episodes. But they come back and they have a big importance because of how they relate to Luffy, as well as like the kind of different things that Fishman Island holds. I think that one of the funniest things through it, like you said, is the Sanji moment, because of it was his dream to get there. And for the biggest thing about it is we were supposed to be here after Water 7. They were supposed to come here immediately after leaving Water 7, but we got sidetracked with Thriller Bark. They ended up at Sabaody, and then that entire situation happened. Think about that for a second. Like I think Water 7 Enies Lobby, I think ends around like episode 321. And we start off at episode 517, and we don't actually reach Fishman Island until 527. That's 200 extra episodes, bro. Like 200 extra episodes to try to get through, and that sounds daunting, and like people who want to catch up to One Piece and everything. But I think it's context that's needed for how we even get to this point. And I think that Fishman Island serves as multiple things. It's a world building type of thing. It's a landmark because we finally made it here after all this time. It's a natural thing where it's like, okay, what is this? What we know about fishmen, but we're finally at the fishman home. So what is it about? It's a lot of different things that it comes to. There's something else that I want to talk about, but like it's just so much to it. Even to the point where, oh, that's what I want to talk about. It's also like the point where we can actually see the Straw Hats and how they, have come so far in their journey. And like we only see a taste of what they've learned and what their powers are as they reach Sabaody in the new and headed straight down here, but we don't really know what they're actually capable of. But this arc kind of shows is a showcase to have them flex a little bit and give us a taste of what they went through for the last 2 years. So I think there's so many different things that go into it, and I think it's just a good flex test, so to speak, for the Straw Hat crew and for us as viewers to kind of like sit back and just enjoy the ride like they had to when they made it down here.
Yeah. And like I said, like these first few episodes, although there isn't much in it context wise, where it's like, oh, like this connects to that, that connects to this. But I think it was just great to see, like, okay, this is where this is the new benchmark for them.
Yeah.
They ran into old opponents that have gave them trouble in the past, and now they're easily able to beat them. We
Hmm.
their navigating skills, all these other things, the even their name in general has just grown in notoriety, whereas you're like, okay, like this is kind of a upgraded, new and improved Straw Hats. And they in these first episodes until we get to Fishman Island is where you're like, okay, you're seeing that. Like I said, they have a way of tying the goofiness into the seriousness, or use it as a segue, because you're kind of just like, like these are not the same group of guys and group of crew that we saw 2 years prior.
Hmm.
Um, and I think Fishman Island really sets the tone for a lot. Like there is a lot of things that even Luffy, as a captain, does, where you're like, whoa, he is definitely grown maturity wise of what it means, and he kind of has a clear understanding of like what it means to be the king of pirates.
Yeah. And, and I'm glad that, for what it's worth, I remember being in the moment around this. I think it was like 2012, and this was like one of the first like times that I was actually like I caught up around Amazon Lily and I was weekly. I remember, seeing the first few pages of a lot of stuff that goes on towards Impel Down in Marineford. And I remember all the different tweets and different message boards of like, oh, we finally made it to Fishman Island. And like just people being excited about this moment of us, coming back in at this time and just being here, you know what I'm saying? Like it was such a good moment, man. I'm telling you, like people don't recognize that um it was just so much that went on during that time, like years ago. And for us to actually be in this moment and see Luffy and them, and this is especially after the time where it's like, Naruto had their time skip of about 2 years. And it's like, okay, we saw how Naruto grew, but a lot of other people kind of, how much did they grow? With this one, we got to see so many different characters grow. We saw the world itself like change over time. We got a lot of good details here and there. Like they name dropped this or like just mention it casually, but they said like, oh, Marine headquarters moved to the other side of the New World so that they could be closer to monitor the pirates over there because the current Marine fort got destroyed in the war. So yeah, we had to swap some stuff around, and there's a lot of other things that are going on in the background of the world that we're just finding out about casually. So I think just it's such a good time in like just finding out about these different details and like just wanting to speculate. Well, what does that mean? What does this mean for the greater story? Because as you know, like we only follow Luffy for a lot of the time, and we just casually get hints of other things that are happening in the world. Um, so yeah, man, I think that this is just we're in for a good little ride. We're gonna be down here for a while, you know what I'm saying? When we come back up to the surface, we'll find some other things that happen in the world and we'll find out some other news. But in the meantime, while we're down here, we're learning more about, you know, the history of the world. And I think it's important. If you're caught up to One Piece, I think you're kind of gonna enjoy us going through this because a lot of stuff that we're talking about now is going to relate to like the most recent stuff in like Egghead and the current arc, which I will not name. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Well, we appreciate y'all. Welcome back to the Lookout. This is our, this is what, episode 192. Um yeah, and we're back on the One Piece journey. We're in the new world now. So if you want to watch everything after Water 7 and Thriller Bark and Marineford, please do. Um but no,
yeah,
man, we like we said, we're jumping straight into the new world with this one. We're here at Fishman Island. We're knocking on the front door. I don't know what the cuisine is down there. I don't know if they actually eat fish too.
I'm sure they
Shout,
do.
shout, shout out to the pescatarians. But yeah, man, thank you guys so much for listening. You know where to find us at the Lookout RNT, wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and the thing formerly known as Twitter. Uh, Ad, any last words?
Uh, trade deadlines.
we gotta
Gotta
get
make.
we gotta get AD off the trading machine. Thank y'all very much. We'll see y'all next week.